Second part of the plan is we need to identify our timeline. So here we are today, March 20th. When's our rally going to happen?
27th.
27th? So next week? Okay, is that enough time to do our rally? It's an emergency rally. This is going to be an emergency rally, so we're going to put it together quick. So all right, so 3/27. So this is just a week away. So when you're figuring out how to break up your plan along your timeline, there's two things that really matter. One, how long you have to plan for it. Whether you're planning out a campaign that's going to go on the next 6 or 7 months, or whether you're planning a rally that's going to happen next week. And usually you want to try to figure out what's a reasonable way to break it into chunks. And it really depends on how much detail you really want to go into your plan. For something like this, if we wanted to write a detailed plan, I would probably break this up every single day. We'd have a different kind of, these are the things that have to happen every day. And every day we'll have benchmarks for how many recruits we need to get, and that would be our plan for it. So we'll figure this out. So let's see, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, all right, 5. Well then, so we'll say it's going to be on the 26th, just so I don't have to write another line. All right, I mean next Friday. So we've broken our plan down into kind of 6 different time chunks. And each time we get to one of these kind of marks here, these lines, we're going to stop, reassess our plan. We're going to look to see if we've hit our benchmarks. We're going to look to see if we accomplished all the logistics and things that we've spelled out. So when we get here, we'll stop, revise it, update our plan for the next phase. All right? So it just depends on the detail you want to go into. If you're planning out a whole campaign, you'd probably break it up by months instead of days like this. Note though that always when you're writing out a plan and writing out your timeline, leave time to plan for after the event or after the campaign because you're usually going to be exhausted by this point, particularly if it's election day, and you're not going to want to do all the necessary follow-up work unless you've written it into your plan from the beginning. And I'm really big on making sure that we close down our campaigns properly. It's something not enough people do right. So when a campaign is over, the campaign's not over on election day, not for the campaign anyway. It's over for the voters. Campaign still's got a lot of work to do in terms of thanking voters, thanking donors, accumulating all of their lists, all of their media materials that they made, everything that the campaign produced into one nice, neat binder for the candidate. So if the candidate wants to run again, they're not starting from zero. They're starting building off of what they already accomplished. Or if they don't want to run, they can give it to the local party or give it to another candidate, and then they can build off of what was accomplished before. We don't do that enough. So we got to plan for that, so that way after the election we're all exhausted, we know, all right, there's still more work to do. I'm going to get to work on making these things happen. If we haven't planned for this stuff, we get to election day and we're exhausted and we're like, yeah, I know there's some other things, I'll get to them eventually, and we never get to them. So have it in the plan from the beginning.